Hey, Cub fans! Welcome back to Randy Talks Cubs. Cubs lost tonight 4-2 to the Mets on Dollar Hot Dog Night in Citi Field. We'll get into the details of that, but before we talk about tonight's game, I want to get us up to date on two or three pieces of news that I have that I want to share with you. Number one, Justin Steele is scheduled to make a rehab start in Iowa tomorrow, and that we'll see how it goes. There's a really good chance if it goes well tomorrow and he comes out of it unscathed, then his next start could be with us. So it looks like we're down to probably inside of a week to 10 days for sure on a return of Justin Steele. So I'll sort of pay attention to what goes on with that tomorrow, and we'll be hoping Justin's about ready. Next thing is Cade Horton, our number one pitching prospect, and many say the best pitching prospect that we've probably had since Mark Pryor has just been promoted to Iowa from Tennessee. And I thought I'd give you his numbers at Tennessee. In 4 starts, Cade threw 16 and a third innings, had an ERA of 1.10, struck out 18, only walked 2. So Cade was lighting up Double A, so he's going to go to Iowa. And once he's in Iowa, if he proves that he can continue in Iowa, we'll see him sooner rather than later. Now, if it goes the other way on him in Iowa, that'll be pushed back. But I would say if he gets 2 or 3 starts and he continues on that pace, we could be seeing him. The next pitcher I want to talk to you about is Brad Wick. The reason I want to talk to him about him is, we've had Luke Little as the lefty out of the pen, and he's had his troubles. Richard Lovelady has come on. He's had an outing. It looked pretty good. But I was just kind of going through it. It looks like Brad Wick is pitching really well. In 8 games at Iowa, 11 and 2/3 innings, he's got an ERA of 1.54, struck out 15, only walked 1. Whip of .85. So Brad Wick in his 8 games, he's pitching really well in Iowa. So I would suggest that the potential if Lovelady struggles and we're needing another lefty, either way, it could be Brad Wick making a comeback. So those are the 3 guys that I wanted to kind of throw out there, and just kind of taking that information and moving forward. You can maybe foresee a rotation down the line maybe in mid-late May of Steelback, Imanaga, Tyone, Javier Assad, maybe Cade Horton, and then you've got Wicks, Wesneski, and Brown sort of off to the side. So there's 8 pitchers that could fit into a rotation, and it's not unrealistic that we could see some variation of that here very soon. And that would be nice if we could start getting some of those guys ready to go. So let's get to the game tonight. We came in first place, up half a game on the Brewers. We dropped to 18 and 12, and the story's not real good. Offensively, we had 4 hits total, walked 6 times, struck out 6. 4-2 is the final. We got a run in the second and another one in the ninth. But 4 hits total. A lot of guys went over. We got the 1 run in the second. Dansby walked, Tauch singled, and Madrigal walked. And then Miguel Amaya hit a sac fly, scoring Dansby. So that was the 1 run in the second inning. Then in the ninth inning, Tauch got his daily double. He doubled in the ninth. Takes third on a Madrigal ground out, and then scores on a Mervis 3 unassisted ground out. So a couple of runs, nothing real exciting. So we started Nico at second base. Wisdom got a start at first base against Sean Manaea, the lefty. Ian Happ was in left field. Morrell was DHing tonight and hitting cleanup. Dansby at shortstop. Tauch in center field. Madrigal at third, hitting 7th. Amaya catching, hitting 8th. Canario got the start in right field. Nico goes 0 for 4. Wisdom went 0 for 2 with a walk. He got pulled in the 7th for Bush, and in the 7th, Bush popped out to third base. Bush was 0 for 1. Wisdom sitting 167. Ian Happ went 0 for 3. Happ walked in the third, hitting a 6-4 double play, 6-4-3 DP in the first. Ian's average is down to 216. Christopher Morel went 1 for 3. He singled in the third inning. He's hitting now 215. Dansby went 0 for 3. His average is down to 234. Dansby walked in the second and ended up scoring that first run. And Dansby made another throwing error today. And I'll talk about that when we get to the scoring. We made 2 throwing errors, Wisdom and Dansby, that cost us runs. Things would have been different without a couple of throwing errors. Tauch goes 2 for 4. Could have had 3 hits, really. He got sort of, I'm going to call it robbed maybe, but the polar bear, Pete Alonso, had to make a really nice play to get him out. So Tauch went 2 for 4, could have been 3 for 4 easily. Tauch's hitting 307. Madrigal went 0 for 3 with a walk. He's hitting a $194. His hard hit rate's under 20. It's 19.4. So I don't know. I know he's a contact guy, but I don't know. It looks pretty anemic to me, and I'm just wondering how long we're going to go with that. I would say that if Madrigal's playing a lot, we're probably not going to do very well. It is what it is. Yeah, we know what it is, but anyway, 0 for 3 with a 194 and no slug. That's the other thing. Just absolutely positively no slug at all. Amaya went 0 for 1. He had a sac fly in the second. He got pulled in the ninth from Mervis, and Mervis rolled over 3 unassisted in the ninth to get that RBI, scoring Tauch, who was on third. Alexander Canario played really well. He went 1 for 2. His hit was just a swinging bunt, little topper down the third base line, and he legged it out. But he made some nice catches, and he played well. He got pulled for PCA in the seventh. Pete Crow Armstrong struck out in the seventh and got another at bat in the ninth, popped up to third. So PCA was 0 for 2. So left 7 on base, 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. And the Met pitchers just pretty much handled us from that perspective. Let's talk pitching. It's not going to be surprising. First of all, Javier Assad's really good. I don't know if you realize that. Javier Assad is a fantastic pitcher, and he's, for me, been flying under the radar. So he comes in tonight with a 2.00 ERA in his 5 starts this year. 27 innings, 26 strikeouts, 9 walks, 1.00 whip, average against 1.94. So that's fantastic. He also comes in with a 5-0 road record as a starter. So Javier Assad, tonight he goes 5 innings, gives up 5 hits, 1 run. It's earned, but the reason I hesitate is it wasn't earned for most of the game. The run we're talking about happened in the first, and I'll tell you what went down. But it was listed as an unearned run the whole game. Then they switched it right at the end. So his final line, 5 hits, 5 innings, a strikeout, no walks, that 1 earned run. So his ERA dropped to 1.97. That's where Javier Assad stands. But in the first inning, it was a rough inning. He gave up the run, gave up 3 hits. We had an error that really kind of cost it. He got Nemoed leading off to ground out to Madrigal 5-3. Madrigal made a nice diving play to his left on that to start the game. Lindor got a base hit. I kind of feel like a lot of good pitchers, the first inning can be a little rough where he finds his release point and kind of finds it. And that's what it was, really. He had a little bit of a rocky first inning, but at the same time, he gives up the hit to Lindor. He, with Alonso at the plate, we pick off Lindor. So Assad makes a really good move. Lindor takes off towards second, and Wisdom airmails the throw to second into the outfield. So throwing error on Patrick Wisdom. that kind of got the ball rolling a little bit. So Alonso ends up getting the sack fly, and the run scored. J.D. Martinez followed with a single, McNeil a single, and then Javier finally got Taylor to ground out to Dansby. It was a 25-pitch first inning, a little bit rough, but with all the action in that first inning, I was really quite happy just getting out of it with one run. I felt like, okay, that Javier's good. He had his little rocky start. I always call it a Fergie Jenkins rocky start. Back in the day, if Fergie got through the first or second inning, it was over. If you were going to get him, you had to get him early. And that's the way I felt when Assad got out of that first inning. I was like, okay, a lot of action. He got a lot, but when he got out of it with the one run, I felt really good. And I actually turned out to be right. Second inning, he gets out of it, gives up one hit, strikes out Stewart. Beatty singles. Narvaez flew out to center, and Nemo grounded out to Nico. 21 pitches to get out of that, and then he's locked in. He goes 1, 2, 3 in the third and the fourth, 13 pitches in the third, just 7 pitches in the fourth, and then he gets out of the fifth inning on just 12 pitches, 10 strikes. Gives up the one hit, gave up a hit to Nemo, uneventful. So, you look at his line 1 through 5, and outside of that first inning, he was on. He was really good, Javier Assad. So, sixth inning, Adbert comes in, and it kind of went wrong. Adbert gets Alonso on a pop-up to Nico. Then J.D. Martinez gets on a throwing error by Dansby. We talked about Dansby throwing the ball, and this throwing error, first of all, it wasn't a long throw. He wasn't in the hole deep. He didn't range behind the bag and make a spin move. He came in on the ball, had plenty of time, and he's almost on the grass, and he throws this two-seam split fork ball that is changeup that goes down and away, and it just had no chance. It was ugly, and I'm like, wow, that's starting to become pretty common. So E6, Martinez is on. McNeil flies out to Happ. Then Taylor singles. There's 2 on, and then Stewart just ran into a 92-mile-an-hour cutter and hit a 3-run jack. And for me, the game was over at that point. So Adbert gave up. Officially, he gave up no earned runs. But he gave up a 3-run bomb in the 6th, and that was it. With the way we were hitting, the way it felt, it was over. Everybody could have gone home. That's pretty much how it played out. I guess some good news. Colton Brewer came in, and he pitched pretty well. Colton goes 2 innings, walks a guy, and strikes out 3. So Colton had a really nice outing. Adbert went the 1 inning, gave up the 2 hits, 3 runs with the home run. So, what's the good news? Okay. Good news, we're 18 and 12. The good news that I got in my mind is I got a Shota game tomorrow. A Shota game will make my day go by really good. Let's see, he's got Budo facing him tomorrow. So we've split the first 2 games of the 4-game set. We got Shota going tomorrow, right? Everybody's due offensively. And maybe we got some throwing errors out of our system for a little while, so we'll look at it that way. And there's a lot of reason to still be positive at 18 and 12, and we show to going tomorrow. We'll get back at it. So, guys, thanks for joining us here on Randy Talks Cubs. Appreciate it, and we'll talk to you later. Go Cubs, go!